This is Newsbreak 26 in Southwest New Brunswick. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Here's what's happening in our part of the world. The Office of the Chief Coroner has announced an inquest into the death of Hilary Hooper of St. George. Hooper, who was originally from Beaver Harbour, died by suicide while a patient in the psychiatric unit of the St. John Regional Hospital on December 2, 2020. The news is a relief to Hooper's mother, Patty Borthwick.
When I first got the call a couple of months ago from the coroner, from Michael Johnston, I cried, immediately cried, because it was like, what? Someone's going to help us? I was thrilled. I was relieved, if you can be thrilled over something like this, but I was so relieved to think someone was going to help us, finally, because it's been such a long fight.
Borthwick has been fighting tirelessly for answers for nearly 2 years, doing everything from organizing a petition for an independent investigation into Horizon Health Network, to filing requests under the Right to Information and Protection of Privacy Act, to meeting with the Premier.
I'm really hoping just to get some regular answers that might not be important to everybody else, but to our family it is, and just to find out, like, when did you find my daughter? What kind of, timetable was she on for being checked? How much staff were on versus how many patients were on, to try to find a reason or an explanation how she could possibly get away with what she got away with and being undetected. And then going forward, maybe if we can get this brought to the front and the truth, then maybe we can find out what really happened and make sure it never happens again to any patient on a psychiatric ward in the hospital.
The inquest is scheduled for March 13th to 18th, 2023 at the St. John Law Courts, where the coroner and a jury will hear evidence from witnesses to determine the facts surrounding Hooper's death. The jury will then have the opportunity to make recommendations aimed at preventing more deaths due to similar circumstances in the future. Borthwick says this is a way to allow her daughter's memory to live on.
If they have to make changes, it'll be because of Hilary, so it's not like, she died in vain. And we're also, besides this, we're also pursuing the legislation change to the Coroner's Act, because right now, if you are a patient under the care of a hospital and you die by suicide, you do not get an inquest because you're not listed under the Coroner's Act. Although if you have a portable wood mill and you die, you get an inquest. So this way, if we can also get the legislation changed, then we can make sure going forward, any family who has a loved one in the hospital, heaven forbid, that should ever pass this way, they will get an inquest into the family, into the person's death, rather than the family fighting for almost 2 years to get any kind of response or any kind of answers.
New Brunswick's Acting Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Yves Leger, says New Brunswickers need to brace themselves for more than just flu season this year, with influenza, COVID-19, and RSV all impacting hospitals at the same time. At a press conference on Friday, Dr. Leger said part of the reason so many young children are sick with RSV right now is because they've grown up sheltered from sickness during COVID-19.
We believe that part of the reason is that we have a fairly large group of young kids who wouldn't have been exposed to this virus early in life due to the measures in place during the pandemic. Now, all of these kids are being exposed at the same time, which means a lot of children are sick at the same time.
Despite being concerned for the impact on the healthcare system, Dr. Leger is only going so far as to recommend masking as an effective tool, but does not see a need to make masking mandatory at this time.
Mandates, whether be it masks or other measures, are never taken lightly. They infringe on people's autonomy to make decisions for themselves.
Finally, 34 candidates and 5 hours of original television programming. That's what you will find all week long in CHCO's NB Votes television specials, airing at noon, 7 p.m. and 10:05 p.m. every day this week leading up to the municipal election on November 28th. Now be sure to do your part and vote on November 28th. That's all the news I have for you. For more stories and online exclusives, follow us on Facebook at CHCO.TV.
A news and public affairs production of CHCO-TV, New Brunswick's only source for independent community television.